On to the end of the lesson. So here we are having only some part of immunity, and now we are going to start allergy mainly in this. So SLE, it is also forming autobodies against in systemic lupus erythematosus. Here the autobodies are formed against different body tissues and cause extensive damage uh, and also cause death when SL is severe. So immunization is produced by acquired immunity mainly, and dead substance act as an antigen. So a killed virus or killed infections are injected and protect against the typhoid or whooping cough, diphtheria, and bacterial diseases. And immunity by toxins is like example tetanus, botulism. It is treated with chemicals and remove toxicity and act as an antigen. So it's like these toxins are only injected to us, but they're treated with chemicals before so that the toxicity is decreased, whereas it can act as a antigen so that we get immunity against them. And live attenuated are like grown in culture or passed by aminal, passed different types by animals. So against smallpox, yellow fever, poliomyelitis, measles, and many other viral diseases, actually we give the live attenuated vaccine. And now coming to passive immunity. So we have till now discussed active immunity, because acquired immunity is an active immunity that produce T cells or antibodies in response to antigen, whereas passive immunity is a temporary immunity without injecting any antigen. So it is by infusing an antibody or activated T cells. So antibody lasts here in a recipient for only about 2 to 3 weeks. So such transfusion of antibody or T lymphocytes is called passive immunity. Means here we only inject the antibody or T lymphocytes only for temporary sake. For example, if a person is having severe infection, then we ourselves go and inject antibody or T cell, activated T cell, to prevent those for the temporary sake. So this is a passive immunity. Now we will move on to allergy, our major topic today in our today's class. So allergy and hypersensitivity. So it is mainly a side effect of immunity. That's why we are talking it with immunity. It's a mainly side effect of immunity. So how it is a side effect of immunity, let us find out. So allergy mainly by activated T cells. So how T cells cause allergy? So delayed reaction allergy, that is mainly caused by activated T cells. So poison EV is a poison which formation of activated helper cells and cytotoxic T cells diffuse from the blood to the skin to respond to the EV, and elect a cell mediated immunity reaction and release the toxins and microorganisms extensively, so which result in a delayed reaction allergies and can be serious tissue damage in lungs and cause lung edema or asthma and attack in the case of airborne antigen. So it's like whenever we want any case of immunity, our body present it and it forms an antibody or T cell. In a direct method it can kill it, or else by complement cascade it can kill it. But sometimes what happens is our macrophages go and present it to our antigens. So presenting to that antigen creates an allergy condition because of delayed reaction. So for example, atopic allergy is associated with increase in, so always remember, allergy is always associated with IgE. So for example, we take, if you have contact with any pollen, and that pollen comes and by means of activating B cell, it activates the IgE antibody, and this IgE antibody go and bind to the receptor of a cell, mainly mast cell or basophils. So this kind of cells, it goes and sensitize those antibody there. Because of sensitizing it, again if same person goes and get pollen by any case of garden walk or etc., and this pollen again comes and binds to this sensitized antibody in our mast cell or basophil, and now this reaction leads to allergy. So that is how allergy takes place. So you can see allergies are mainly caused by ordinary response to immune system, non-ordinary response to immune system, and allergic tendency is passed from the parent to child and is characterized by presence of increase in IgE antibody in the blood, and this is called as reagents or sensitizing antibody. So it can also be genetically passed from parent to child, like having more amount of IgE. So if the normal amount of IgE is present, it's okay, but normal high amount of IgG are mainly seen in allergic reactions and also seen in parasitic infections sometimes. So you can see the allergens enter the body and the allergen reagent reaction takes place, that is sensitize the IgE antibody and the allergy occurs. So for example, IgE If it binds with the mast cells or basophils, it creates the physical effects of antibody molecule to control the cell membrane, and this leads to rupture of basophils and mast cells, release the histamine, protease, slow reacting substance of anaphylaxis, mixture of toxic leukotrienes. So if it is mild, if the allergy is mild, it's okay, but if it's severe, it may lead to anaphylaxis, which is a severe disorder. It is mainly mixture of toxic leukotrienes. So actually I said you that they bind to the mast cell or basophil. Because of binding to that, they rupture and release the histamine, and this all cause the vasodilation, increase in the blood flow, cause mucus like secretion, watery eyes, sneezing. All these are examples of symptoms of mild allergies. So now, eosinophilic chemotactic substance or neutrophilic chemotactic substance, heparin, platelet activating factors, all these are produced and they cause the dilation of blood vessel, attraction of eosinophils, neutrophils to the reaction site, increased permeability of capillaries with the loss of fluid into tissues, contraction of local smooth muscle cells, cause spasms, muscle spasms, cause swelling. All these are mainly allergic reactions. So let us see anaphylaxis. It is a specific allergen which is injected during circulation, directly into the circulation. An allergen can react with the basophils of the blood and mast cells in the tissues located immediately outside the small blood vessels. So if the basophils and mast cells are sensitized by attachment of IgE reagents, so increase allergic reaction in the vascular system, and this reaction is called as anaphylaxis. So histamine mainly causes vasodilation, increased permeability of capillaries, loss of plasma from the circulation, and the person who experiences this reaction dies of circulatory shock within few minutes unless treated with a epinephrine to oppose the effects of histamine. So in the severe cases, we need to immediately give uh, epinephrine injections, but in the mild case of allergies we can just give antihistaminic drugs. But in the case of severe infection, allergic anaphylaxis, like this you can see in this anaphylaxis, it's a severe case of allergy, so here we need to give epinephrine injection. So basophils and mast cells release the slow reaction substance of anaphylaxis. This leukotrienes can cause spasm of the smooth muscle of bronchioles, elicits asthma-like attack, and sometimes even death due to suffocation. Because here the bronchioles are spasm, that is they are narrowed, so this person can't get a proper breath and he may die because of suffocation of breathing. So now let us see urticaria. Urticaria is result from antigen entering the specific skin areas and causing the localized anaphylactic reaction. So histamine release and cause a vasodilation, red flare, increased local permeability of capillaries, lead to local circumscribed swelling of skin. Within few minutes, the swellings are commonly called hives, and administration of antihistamine drugs to prevent the hive formation. So urticaria is also somewhat mild form, but if it gets into severe, then it may convert into anaphylaxis and lead to circulatory shock. But if it is mild case, we can just give it antihistamine. So remember, in the mild case of allergies, we can treat it with antihistaminic drugs, whereas in the severe cases, we need to only give the epinephrine injection. Now let us see what is hay fever. So remember that in urticaria, we get the hive formation. So hives are formed in urticaria. Now let us see the hay fever. Hay fever, here the allergen reagent. So hay fever, allergen reagent reactions occur in the nose, and histamine is released in response to the reaction and cause a local intranasal vascular dilation with increased capillary pressure, increase the capillary permeability, rapid fluid leakage into nasal cavities and into associated deeper tissue of the nose, nasal linings become swollen and secretory, and use of antihistamine drugs prevent the swelling reaction. Allergen reagent reaction cause irritation of nose, eliciting the typical sneezing syndrome. So hay fever is mainly related to nose. Urticaria is related to skin, form the hives. Anaphylaxis related to whole body. It is a most severe form when compared with this, because you can see here the treatment is antihistamine, means it's not severe. Anaphylaxis is severe. We use epinephrine. Now asthma. Asthma mainly occurs in allergic type of person. Allergen reagent reaction also occurs in bronchioles of the lung. An important product released from the mast cell is a slow reacting substance of anaphylaxis. Mixture of three leukotrienes causes spasm of bronchial smooth muscle. Person have difficulty in breathing until the reactive products of allergic reaction have been removed. So antihistamine administration has less effect on the course of asthma because histamine doesn't appear to be major factor electing the asthmatic reaction. So even asthma looks to be some of the typical case when compared with urticaria and hay fever. So anaphylaxis is the top dangerous one in allergic reactions, and next comes asthma, and next urticaria and hay fever. So this is about allergies, and we also discuss about passive immunity here. So that's it. So if you like our videos, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. also discuss some of the important tables and diagrams from our textbook. So you can see the comparison of cellular immunity and humoral immunity here. So cellular immunity mainly uses T lymphocytes and primary encounter with foreign cell, especially cancer cell, virus infected cell, parasites, and this leads to formation of cytotoxic T cell which directly attacks the foreign cells. Perforins forms holes in the membrane, and T helper cell, CD4 cells, also called Th1 and Th2 cells, they secrete interleukins, recruit macrophages and B cells. Memory T cells quick secondary exposure response, and suppressor T cells suppress the immune response regulatory role, and plasma cells have antibody. So this is about till here cellular immunity. Now moving on to humoral immunity, it uses the B lymphocytes, primary encounter with antigen like bacterial toxins, some viruses, and it forms a plasma cells, which in turn form antibodies like IgM, IgG, IgA, IgD, IgE, and memory B cells which help in quick secondary exposure response. So this is the differentiation between our cellular and humoral immunity. Now we'll see this diagram. You can see formation of antibodies and sensitized lymphocyte by lymph node in response to antigen. So you can see first is the bone marrow. It contains common lymphoid progenitor cell, hemopoietic stem cells, common lymphoid progenitor cell, developing B cell. So this move on to thymus. For example, T cells. T cells move to thymus, and from here, cell mediated immunity. Right, T lymphocyte comes and reaches our lymphoid organs. So here peripheral lymphoid tissue, T lymphocyte. Antigen on attacking with this activated, they get activated T lymphocytes. So only this part of cellular immunity. Now humoral immunity, developing B cell, B lymphocytes come to the circulation, reach the lymphoid tissues. In the lymphoid tissue, on the exposure to antigen, it forms a plasma cell. Plasma cell in turn forms antibodies. So this is about cellular and humoral immunity. And now here we need to see this. Antigen activates a lymphocyte that have cell surface receptor that are complementary, recognize a specific antigen. Millions of different clones of lymphocytes exist, and when the lymphocyte clone is activated by antigen, it reproduces to form large number of duplicate lymphocytes which then secrete antibodies. So you can see developing B cells from the bone marrow is coming, and different B cell clones are formed like B1, B2, B3. So antigen binding to specific B2 cell. So antigen binding to the antibody, you can see here the B2. Now only here B2, because antigen only to which part antigen binds, that cell only gets activated. As here it is antigen is binding to B2, B2 gets activated, and proliferation and differentiation of B2 lymphocytes takes place now. So like this they form a clone, these are identical, and antibodies are secreted. So like this antibodies are secreted and they destroy them. So this is about B cell example. And you can see the time course of antibody response in circulating blood to primary injection of antigen and a secondary injection several weeks later. So how? By multiple doses of injection we get the immunization. So time, days, blood antibody concentration. So first you can see first antigen injection is given on the 0 day, there is no use, but coming to in between of 10 to 20 like 15 days, so the primary response is seen, and between the 30 and 60 days you can see the second antigen is injected again, that is second dose is given, and you can see between the 70 to 80 days, like about 75 days, the secondary response is seen. So this response continues and protect us again if that kind of antigen comes to our body. So that is the process of immunization. So here we already discussed about antibody sites. It's so you can see it's a variable portion, constant portion, heavy chains, two heavy chains. This is a hinge region. You can see light chains, antigen, binding chains, antigen. Now we are going to discuss the binding of antigen molecules to one another by bivalent antibodies. So this is how bivalent. Bivalent means binding to two antigens. You can see on one side, one side. So antigen, antibodies. So this is how bivalent antibodies are bound to two types of antigen. So already we discussed complement cascade, and you can see the activation of T cells, how they're activated. So this is an antigen presenting cell. So once we'll see this. Activation of T cells require interaction of T cell receptors with an antigen, a foreign particle, that is transported to the surface of antigen presenting cell by MHC protein, and cell to cell adhesion proteins enable the T cell to bind to antigen presenting cell long enough to become activated, and MHC major histocompatibility complex. So this is how MHC cell activated. So you can see this is the T cell receptor with the help of foreign particle. It is activating the MHC molecule here. and cell to cell adhesion proteins are working here like this. And here we can check out the regulation of immune system by emphasizing a pivotal role of T helper cells, IgA, immunoglobulin IgG, IgM, MHC. So let us see here. So this is a B cell, antigen is coming here, and plasma cell is formed. It forms different types of immunoglobulins, that is nothing but antibodies. So how this is formed, let us see first. Antigen, it is preprocessor areas process the antigen MHC, antigen specific receptor interleukin 1 T helper cell. It activates some lymphokines and this in turn activates the B cell. So we have already said antigen can activate both B cell and T cell, but with the help of T cell, how B cell activates is like this. So first antigen comes with the help of MHC, it is presenting to antigen specific receptor. T helper cells are activated, mainly T helpers 2. It gives rise to lymphokines which act on B cell, form like this. So there are also cytotoxic, these lymphokines also go to cytotoxic T cells and also to the suppressor T cells. So this suppressor T cells is also called as regulatory T cells, which regulates this both T helper 1, T helper 2 or T cytotoxic and T helper cells. So here we can see the direct destruction of an invading cell by sensitize the lymphocytes, cytotoxic T cells. How we can directly kill them without any complement cascade. So here's the antigen. Specific binding cytotoxic T killer cells, how they are arranged, antigenic receptors, cytotoxic and digestive enzymes are this. This is the attack cell. So this is how 3 cells come, attack them in the middle and destroy them by help of cytotoxic T cell direct. So this is all about which we have need to discuss from our textbook.